got that on the first try. Wow, I'm so
No,
excited.
look at you.
So this is Melissa Shaw with Our Generation, where we educate, empower, and inspire. And welcome to another episode with another dope ass entrepreneur that I met at an event in May. Super excited for you guys to meet her. Her vibe is just beautiful. Her spirit is, and her candles are amazing. And she has other things that she does. But before I get into that, I just want to say that, whew, like I literally just got off the plane like 20 minutes ago, and here we are at P30. But yeah, so I went on a leadership summit yesterday, and it was dope. Like I'm still trying to process everything, but it's so important for us in any industry that we're in to make sure we surround ourselves with people that are doing what you want to do
Hmm.
because they've already paved the way. Like
Yeah.
why reinvent the wheel?
Right.
You know,
Hmm.
and so it was just very, very powerful. I'm connected with Legal Shield, and it was for them,
Hmm.
and they are putting over $10 million out in the field. And it's just like it just blows me away because this service is so powerful and so impactful for so many people on the
Hmm.
personal side, but even on the business side. And it just more um, made me be more intentional about me telling people
Yeah.
because a lot of people don't know about it.
Hmm.
Um, and so I'm like literally flipping the script on everything that I do. Like
Yeah.
I'm changing everything. Is going to be different. How I wake up in the morning is going to be different. How I
Hmm.
go to bed, like, sometimes we move the same way, but they say the definition of insanity is doing the
Yep, it's
same
doing the
thing,
same thing. Yep.
expecting a different
Yep, a
result.
different
And
result.
even
Yeah.
though sometimes we might tweak a little bit, throughout the what we're doing, but no, I just got to completely flip the script.
Yeah.
I usually do my personal development or reading at night. I start doing it in the morning. I'm gonna do it in the morning. I'm gonna plan my day differently. Being, like I said, more intentional. So yesterday I was had to wait for a shuttle to go to my hotel from the conference,
Hmm.
and normally I'm in my world a lot, and I didn't
Yeah.
realize how much that I zone out when
Yeah.
I'm around people, and so that listening to people's stories yesterday and just the encouragement that they gave us made me realize, like, okay, maybe I need to be just a little bit more present even when I'm around
Mm.
people I don't know. And so these two ladies got on the bus, and they were just talking about how they had this horrible plane ride and they missed their other plane. And there was this one lady, her name is Courtney, and we actually exchanged numbers. We're friends on Instagram now. Like, she
Yeah.
has such a sweet spirit. Like, she helped this lady push her because they got off the airplane, and the people was like, well, because other lady needed a wheelchair.
Hmm.
They was like, well, you won't make it to your connecting flight. Literally left her there and walked away. Like, what? Exactly.
Whoa.
I'm like, are you kidding me? And so this young girl,
Uh-huh.
was like, hey, I'll help you. And she transferred, like, brought
Yeah,
her.
got her
And
to, and yeah.
she's like, they went through all these different elevators that didn't work. Just like, it was just crazy for them.
Hmm.
But she has such a good spirit.
Hmm.
Most people would have been frustrated, would have had an
Yeah.
attitude.
Yeah.
But just how she handled herself, I was like, wow, I'm like, okay, I could learn. This stranger that taught
Yeah.
me some stuff just
Uh-huh.
within the last 5 minutes that I met her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I got something that y'all may want to listen
Oh
to.
yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
normally I wouldn't do that. But,
Yeah.
again, people think that other people can be treated a certain way and that they're not going to say anything because they
Hmm.
don't have access to having their rights protected, or a law firm that can step in and
Yep.
say,
Hmm.
hey, according to your policy, you treated her this way. She should, just whatever that looks
Yeah.
like.
Uh-huh.
And so was able to give my card out to one, and the other one we actually exchanged numbers. And she lives in Alaska. I know, and
Wow.
she showed me the what are those lights called? It just was on the tip of my tongue. The Oh my god, there's a certain type of light, like the sun connects with whatever's out there,
Uh-huh.
and like it's just like these green lights that come up. What is it called? Oh my god, I cannot believe it's like right there, and I cannot think of it. I'm sure anybody that's listening, if you know what I'm talking about, please post it in the
Right.
comments below. Like, it's just right there, but I can't. Northern Lights. There we go.
Oh, duh,
I
Northern
know, right?
Lights.
But she was saying that it only happens really, like, they don't know when it's going to happen because at night is when you see it the most, like when it's
Yeah.
dark. And
Uh-huh.
because they go through so many months where they're light
Yeah.
for 24
Yep.
hours
Mm-hmm.
that you don't normally see them, but when it's really dark, and she showed me a
Mm-hmm.
picture, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, I would
Yeah. Like to tap in
like to do that.
Alaska.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So yeah, that was my last 2 days, but it just really gave me a whole mindset shift,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good. I'm excited about like this next quarter. Is like I'm all stops.
Yeah,
Like
like I'm taking charge. Like it is
yeah,
what it. And I don't know what it is about like, entering into a new quarter because I kind of feel that same way. And I've kind of, kind of been on that same thing this last like maybe week or so where I'm just like, no, we're going to shift some things. And
mm-hmm.
like even kind of how you said that, when you do your personal development, you switched your time. And I actually been kind of talking to a life coach a little bit. And one thing that she was recommending back to me to do is journal. And I've always been like a journaler, but
Mm-hmm.
since I had my baby and stuff like that, it's been a little bit harder and managing the business and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. But she always talks about showing up for yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's one tidbit that I've taken from her. And she was like, well, you should start journaling first thing in the morning, like before you get up and do anything. And I like to journal because I like to see, where I was at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really just been a game changer for me, like
Mm.
just within this last week of me just waking up before my feet even plant the ground
Wow.
to just go ahead and get the journal, get the thoughts out, and then just take on the day and conquer the
Yeah.
day because you never know what's
No,
gonna go down.
absolutely.
You know
So,
what I
what
mean?
have you seen difference? First, okay, before you answer that, please introduce yourself. See, this is why my show's not scripted because we
Right,
just go right on
right. Just
into
get
it.
right into
So,
it.
please tell my listeners who you are, what business you have, and then go back because I want to
Okay.
go back to that.
Yes. So, hello, everyone. My name is Jessica, also known as Just the Chosen One. I am a candle making mommy of one, and I am the owner of I Am the Vibe Candles, where we activate your mind, body, and soul through scent and sound. So, I'm really, really big on scent and the nostalgia that it can bring. I'm really, really big on music. I think that music and scents, they just have so much power. And
Mm-hmm.
so, those are two things that have always been able to help me. And so, that's what I'm building my brand off of. And so I've been in business for about 4 years now, and I'm just continuing to ascend. And I'm
I
just so
love
excited
that.
to be
Yeah.
here.
And I like how you said, because as you was talking, I was thinking you are right, because I love to light my candles and listen to music.
Yeah,
So they
it's
do
like a
go,
theme.
yeah. And so I love how you kind of made those into one product. That's
Yeah,
dope.
yeah.
So how do you pick your, okay, see, I'm about to go off on a tangent. First, let's swing back to once you started journaling in the morning,
Mhm.
what has that, have you noticed any difference yet?
Yeah, because I just kind of feel better because I was able to kind of like release a little bit. Or these last couple of days, I've noticed I've been able to kind of release a little bit of what's kind of been on my mind. You know how
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you go to bed and then it's like it's something just still just like right there in the back of
Mm-hmm.
your mind, and then sometimes you can take that into your next day, and that's not always a good thing, right?
Yeah.
And so me really just being able to write down those thoughts and really sit in for that 5 to 10 minutes on how I'm really feeling at the moment. Once I'm able, to shower, get my day started, get my baby ready, and take on the world, I'm good. I've already got it out. I was able to
Mm.
write it out. And I also think there's just so much power in actually just writing.
Mm-hmm.
These days, we are always in our phones, and that's,
Mm-hmm.
could be by design, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think, just giving yourself a brain break is what I call it,
Yeah,
giving
absolutely.
yourself a brain break and, journaling. And even, there's been a couple of days that I've fallen off and haven't been able
Mm-hmm.
to do it right in the morning, but I've still been intentional about giving myself that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just feel good because I'm actually doing it. And I just think for me, and just being a woman and and going into the journey of entrepreneurship, I think affirming things is important, but you being
Mm-hmm.
able to actually see the change in your life
Mm-hmm.
is just one of the dopest experiences, I would
Mm-hmm.
say. So
No, absolutely. And
yeah.
just by meeting that girl yesterday, it was like I watch people differently now. And I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, you look, I'm more intentional about, even if I don't go into what I do, is fine, but still talk to
Hmm.
people. Because one of our speakers yesterday, he said, like, when you go through the airport, everybody's just looking down at me. Nobody wants to
Hmm.
make eye contact or smile or,
Yeah.
just be happy. And
Hmm.
I know watched that today, and I was like, oh my god, he's so right. But I made sure I was intentionally smiling at people, and if you smile at someone, you can't help but smile back.
Right, right. It's like, oh, you are. She's smiling at me, or he's
Yeah,
smiling
like
at
you
me. So it's
have
like,
to. But
hi.
sometimes I'm real like
Yeah.
iffy to smile at guys,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's like I'm just being nice. Like,
Right. I don't.
please.
Not trying to have conversation. None of that
Exactly,
extra.
exactly. I don't, yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's funny. So back to your candles. So you started 4 years ago. What made you want to get into candles and making and the songs, and how do you connect all that together?
So I was kind of going through a not so good time in my life. At that point, I was kind of working the job that was just kind of taking a toll on me, and so I was like, I really have to figure something else out, and not that what I was doing was not a good thing or anything like that, because I loved what I do. However, it brings on a lot of stress, like a lot of our jobs. They
Mm-hmm.
bring on stress, and so a part of getting through life and learning how to do life is figuring out what your thing is or what's going to
Mm-hmm.
help you. You know what I'm saying? And so candles, I noticed that every night when I got home, that was the first thing that I would light before I did
Mm-hmm.
anything. But I was also, 2021 at the time. Well, probably not 2021. I'm pretty old now, but
You are not old,
I'm not
honey.
old. 29 is not old, but I would notice even before I kind of started my business and was going through the things that I was going through, I was always lighting candles.
Mm-hmm.
But I also didn't want to keep paying for candles. And so
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, let me see if I can, let me try it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like a lot of people, you find yourself a DIY kit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to find myself a DIY kit, and I, did some research, and then I just kind of got into it, and I said, oh wow, this isn't a hard thing.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister, she's very, very business oriented. Her and my mom actually. But my sister, she actually she had a basketball brand, a CBA under CBA that she did. And so, once I was able to watch my sister kind of navigate through that, I think
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what, I think I can kind of do something similar.
Mm-hmm.
But I want I want a product. I want to do something. And so that's how I was able to get into the candles. And then as far as like the musical, as far as the music goes, my dad's a musician, and so my family, we grew up in the church.
Mm-hmm.
And so my dad, he played the trombone. He used to play the trombone in the church, right out here, actually, not too far away. But my family, they've moved. And so now it's just really me and my sister and stuff like that in the city. But my dad and my mom, they were able to give us that foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of when you grow older, you want to tap into different things, and
Mm-hmm.
what are these about? What is that about? But I will say that, going to church and, being able to have church has been something that was kind of always been consistent, even if I
Mm-hmm.
strayed away or whatever, like that. And then just gospel music, because my dad is always so into jazz and he's so
Mm-hmm.
into that type of thing. I automatically I gravitate to it.
Right.
And so people always laugh at me all the time because I always listen to jazz or gospel or
Yeah.
whatever. But again, I understand the power behind music.
Yeah. It's very
And a lot of the
powerful.
stuff that we listen to is garbage.
Oh my
We
God.
listen to a
It's
lot,
so
we listen to a
bad.
lot of stuff that motivates us to do things that we shouldn't, or just, more on a low vibrational.
No, for real. Like, for example, sorry to stop you, but my daughter had some friends over and they was listening to this awful ratchet ass music.
Yeah.
And I go in there and she's in there with her friends, and her one little friend was like, yeah, it just makes me want to go kill somebody. I said, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I said, stop. Do you realize what you just said?
Yeah.
He was like, but you a lawyer, aren't you? I said, no, I'm not. I may have connections, but no, we're not. I said, why would you? That is not okay, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it is low
Yeah.
vibrational and it creates negative thoughts
Yes.
because um, music creates emotion.
Yeah.
And so, what emotion is it bringing up
Yeah.
inside of you?
Yeah. And so it's like in
It's
my
like, all right, yeah, y'all not going out
yeah,
this
we ain't
house for
doing
the
that.
next
Yeah.
25, 48 hours,
Right.
right? We got to clear all
We
this
got it right.
out.
We got to figure
Let me
this
get,
out.
where's my sage at?
Right,
Like,
exactly. And so, for me, I just kind of going through school, because my background is also in early education.
okay.
And so I know, brain development and
Mm-hmm.
all of these things that we put in our mind, and what's important for a small brain, a tiny brain.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I took that with me of, you gotta watch what you're listening to.
Yeah.
And so for me, I've always been able to be motivated by, the gospel music that my mom and my dad had always put in my ear. And just even now, being able to kind of sing praise and worship and, lead people into them, getting
Mm-hmm.
whatever inspiration it is that they need. I really just enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times on my playlist, I don't necessarily go the direction of jazz, but it is more so neo soul, something a
Mm-hmm.
little more smooth. Might
Mm-hmm.
throw a little gospel in there here and there, but I really, really love music, and
Mm-hmm.
things that are going to be an inspiration to us. So you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean. We got a lot of ass shaking music out
A
these days. We
lot
got a
of
lot of
it.
murder rap and stuff like
Yeah.
that these days. And so when you talk about your daughter and the things that they listen, the things that we listen to,
Yeah.
it's just like I just feel like we have to just be more mindful
Mm-hmm.
about those things. So even with the candles, you just being able to scan that code right at the very beginning. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And then that candle and that playlist already being there for you
I
to
love
help
that.
set
That
your
is so
mood. It's
dope.
just there you go. You
I
good.
love that. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
You definitely need to trade, like you need to like protect that
Yeah.
because that concept is so dope.
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't know, even before or recently, because I actually just I was in a cohort where I was in the cohort for about five months. And so I was able to kind of gain a little bit more about business, and I had to do a
Hmm.
pitch and everything. But I did talk to a lady, and she kind of hinted at me that she knew somebody who, kind of did something similar.
Mm.
However, I know that people can, do some of the same things,
Yeah,
but I mean, no matter what industry you're in, you provide something different. You know what I
absolutely.
mean? You always provide something
Absolutely.
different. And, even here in the city, I know, some people may agree or disagree, but I think that Indianapolis has some of the best artists, some of
Hmm.
the best creatives here. And so me being able to connect with some of them and put some of them on my
Oh yeah.
playlist, that just helps amplify their music and get their
Hmm.
streams up as well. And
Hmm.
so not only are we, just kind of, perfecting and helping our minds, just
Yeah.
listen to something different, I'm also able to help put on other
Yeah,
people.
I love that using the
So
local artists. Are you familiar with Lakshmi?
I've
Okay, yeah.
heard.
So her music is positive. Like she does affirmations in her
Yeah.
music, and she like that. She's good at rapping. Like her, yeah. Definitely reach out
Yes,
to
I
her. I
love
think
stuff
that would
like
be
that for
a
sure.
great connection for you
Yeah.
because of what you're trying to put out with the candles. And
Okay.
that
I
positive.
definitely will.
And then do you know Janessa the Messenger?
Yes.
Girl, she's got a
Yes.
dope ass voice.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that until what was it? A couple weeks ago, she had an event called Hill Indie.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
so good, and she started singing, and I was like, "Wait a minute!" She's even wrote a song.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah. So
that.
you're right. A lot of there's so many dope people out here, and it's just getting people to notice and the
Mhm.
collective, and
Yeah.
just creating your own space where people can vibe off of each other
Yeah.
is so important.
Yeah, and I also just think that like we're entering a space where that is also too important. I don't know why, like, sometimes we get so caught up in I got it myself, I could do it by myself.
Hmm.
And I couldn't even tell you and attest to that. Like as I've, been in these last couple of years of business, you are going to get to the point where you're gonna need a little bit of help. And
Hmm.
that is okay. Like you
Yeah,
don't know everything. You're gonna
absolutely.
get tired sometimes. Making candles ain't no joke. You know what I
Yeah, all
mean?
right.
Preparing the playlist and doing all the back end stuff. It ain't no
Mm-hmm.
joke. And I also learned through going through that cohort
Mm-hmm.
that I want to be able to have longevity.
Yes,
And so in
yes.
order for me to really be able to have that longevity, I know that I'm gonna have to take my hands off some things,
Mm-hmm.
and put some people in place that are going to be
Mm-hmm.
able to help me and
Yeah.
not necessarily expect something right away in return. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
So I definitely I'm so with you on that.
Yeah, so it's all about sustainability.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
you get to a point to where your business is here. It could be here, but you
Mm-hmm.
have to add certain components in order for it
Yep.
to get here, and
Mm-hmm.
that takes us to relinquish some of our own control,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. It definitely
Because like this
is.
is my baby, I want to, but in order for
Yeah.
it to grow and expand, it's important to reach out and bring people.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the lawyers come in.
Yeah.
Taking certain things off your plate with that. Having a tax professional explain certain things,
Yeah.
accounting, bookkeeping,
Mm-hmm.
just marketing. Just all of that stuff is a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, it is. And also too, I think, another beauty about it is that you have the time. You literally like you have the time. I think, sometimes we, get so caught up on, oh, I gotta have this done by this time or I have to have this done by that time.
Mhm.
When, in naturality, like it is what it is. It's good.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you're gonna go through things, you're gonna pivot when it's time for you to pivot. Whatever
Absolutely.
failures you're supposed to go through, you're gonna fail, but you're gonna get
Mhm.
right back up again because you do, your brand really does become your baby
Yes.
when you're, really truly trying to get yourself off the ground and
Mhm.
your business off the ground. So yes, definitely agree with
So
that.
does each of your candles have a different playlist?
So right now the playlists are actually more so on a seasonal basis.
Okay.
So I have about 8 candles that are out all the time. However, I do have a zodiac collection, and then I have a collection that comes out in the fall, and then I have a collection that drops more so like in the winter time. So like around Christmas, but then more so like January, you get
Nice.
your wintry type of scents, and
Mhm.
then also too in the springtime. And so, during those 3 points is when I really try to, build up a big playlist.
Nice.
I think a good playlist is about 14 to 16 songs.
Mm-hmm.
And so during that time frame, I'm able to just build on them. So a lot of times people will get the candle and then they'll see that I've, still been adding stuff on there. But I just think that's great because sometimes you just come across something that's just too good and you
Yeah.
don't want to keep it to
No,
yourself.
for real.
So
Like
you
you
just,
heard a lot. You know Londrell, right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
listen to him. I was like, I listen to him every day.
Yeah, I think he was just
Girl,
here.
it was so dope.
And I cannot
Sky,
believe
do
I
you
missed
know
it.
Sky?
No, I
Okay, so
don't.
she works at Farm Free Life, the
Okay,
coffee
okay.
shop that
Uh-huh.
we was gonna go to.
Wait, I may have. Where's that at?
Off of 82nd and Allisonville.
Okay, that's what I was
It's
gonna
a
say. Wait, did I
CBD
miss her?
dispensary.
Oh, you know what? Somebody was telling me about it. So I don't know her personally or anything
Okay.
like that, but somebody was just
Yeah.
bringing her name.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
actually interviewed her, but I remember early this year, or it was even maybe the end of last year, she was like, I want to do this, but I'm nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to bring him here. He's dope. People, and I'm like, do it. She sent him a DM on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
and end up able to connect, and she brought him here, and I'm like, that is so dope that she
Yeah.
was able to. That just shows you right there that if we put our minds to something and we
Yeah.
actually put it out there, we actually put in the work
Yeah.
and follow up and really chase
Mm-hmm.
it,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
You get to see it, like and I mean, again, it's so much power in you just
He's
being
gonna
able to
come
see
back. He
yourself
didn't
do
even
it.
want to leave.
Yeah.
He said, I don't want to leave. Like it went longer than it was
Yeah.
supposed to
Yeah.
because it was just such a dope environment.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's just the beauty of building connections and you just,
yes.
being able to say, okay, no, I'm going to do this.
Yes.
We're going to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So kudos to her for just doing that because
Yeah.
I was like, man, how did I miss
I
this?
know.
But
a lot of people was
yeah,
like that.
I was like, and sometimes, in Indianapolis, like they just kind of, some people here, like they have that power to just,
Yeah.
make things happen.
Yeah.
And so kudos to her.
Yeah,
That's
I was
amazing.
super proud of her because
Yeah.
she was so nervous. And I was like, it just, and it turned out amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, he'll be back.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I love that.
So you have 3 scents per year?
Yeah, so
Like
about
spring, fall?
Yeah. So right now in the fall time, right now we have the brown maple bourbon that's
Ooh,
that's
that
out.
sounds good.
Toaster strudel that's out.
Sounds good. Like
and
I'm ready to eat it.
yeah, and then there is also, what is the other one? I'm having a little bit of a brain fart. What's the last one? I don't remember what the last one is. So you guys will definitely have to go to I Am the Vibe LLC to go check it out because it is out now. I just got finished doing a Black Friday and September sale.
Oh, fun.
So I just been a little bit busy and
Yeah.
Whatnot, but yeah, I think the fall scents are my favorite.
Yeah, I love
because
fall.
I mean, people just, that's when they're ready to get back in the house and kind of get cozy. And so the fall, that's really the time where I like to really just kind of like show out and
Yeah.
just bring them, just literally bring them out.
Yeah, I love
and
it.
of course, like the springtime is awesome.
Yeah.
And summer too, or not necessarily summer. I said spring and winter. Because sometimes here and there I'll drop a little something.
Nice.
But I just really kind of try to keep it where it's at because one thing that I notice is like if you try to put too much out at once, you could kind of be doing a little bit of a detriment to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I really do try to just kind of keep it there. And then once that season's out, it goes away, and then you got to come back again next season. So.
Yeah, I love it. No, I love it. So, what's your scent inspiration? Like, where do you get your inspirations from your scent?
So it's really just kind of like what I feel like smells good.
Yeah.
It's honestly what I feel like smells good. I really, really like a lot of fruity scents. I like fruity scents. I like masculine scents. And so I really like to do a lot of blends. Also too with like hints of earth and like I said, more so the fruits. I like to bring those together. And then I just really, I think blending is the best thing that you can do because a lot of times when you blend the scents, you come up with something that people haven't ever smelled before.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so like I said, I really enjoy doing that, but it's really just more so what I feel like is this is a hit. This is the one.
Like when I spray on perfume, I like spray on different ones, and people are like, "What are you wearing?" Well, I don't know. It's a combination.
Right,
of
it's
several.
a combo. It's a combo. And so it's like that's really, really what I like to do with my candles. But even with candle making and like whatever product that people may make, there's a lot of science and stuff like that that goes behind it. And so it's like I don't like to blend too much or go too crazy because again, it's a science behind it. So you don't want to have to switch up your wick or switch up your candle jar just for it to solidify or go along with this actual scent. But I think I have a pretty good solid foundation with what I do have.
Yeah.
And I will say, if you guys were, wondering, what would be the best sellers or whatnot, I would say the Guns N' Roses candle is a really, really good one. And that one's kind of more so in the middle of like masculine, but then it's
Mhm.
very unisex too. And it's got a little cashmere in there, a little bit of peppercorn,
Mm.
and so it's a vibe. It
I
really
love that.
is. So that's a good one. And then pineapple chunks is also a
Mm.
fan favorite, and that one's totally fruity. And that one's also really good year round. Today I actually bought Himalayan salt and orchid. I couldn't remember what
Oh, you know
what you
what? I
got
think that's what
before.
I think that is
I
the one
felt
I
like it
got.
kind of
Yeah.
was. I
Yep.
felt like Himalayan salt and orchid was one that you had,
Yes.
and so that's another one that also stays on the line year
Love
round.
that.
And so that one's just kind of, it's literally just like a spa day in your home.
Mhm.
And so that has a really nice playlist to go along with that one as well. So
I
I
love
mean, you
it.
really can't go wrong with any of them if I do
No,
say
and
so
I know
myself.
we talk. No, I love it, and you are a vibe.
Thank
Like
you.
just this, you have such a great energy about you that just makes people just want to hear you. And I love your voice, by the
Thank
way.
you. Thank you.
We talked last time we talked. We talked about partnering and doing something for
Yeah.
entrepreneurs. So please stay on the lookout for that,
Please.
because we're gonna definitely create something special.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times entrepreneurs don't know how to slow down,
Hmm.
and we don't choose to slow down.
Hmm.
So we're gonna try to integrate the candle making and teaching
Yeah.
how to be still, how to slow down, and
Hmm.
yeah, y'all, I'm gonna make y'all some candles.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm excited. We're looking to do that October, probably November. I don't
Yeah.
know. We're
Yeah.
probably November.
Yeah. I'm excited though
Yeah.
because Melissa knows some really dope people.
Oh, thank you.
And so I'm just really excited to, get around her and do some fun stuff and
Yeah,
everything. I love everything that you're doing with the
I
platform.
appreciate it.
So, I'm just thankful for all that you do for, women and entrepreneurship
Thank you.
and
Yeah.
everything. And yeah.
I love it, and I love connecting. To hearing your guys, stories, just inspire me. Like I was thinking the other day, and I was telling the lady that I have met at the airport. I was like, I've done almost 80 interviews. Like, are you kidding me? Like
Wow.
when I was thinking like that, is that even like 80?
Yeah.
I literally am gonna have to go back and like for 100 interviews. I'm gonna have to do
Oh yeah,
something
for sure, for
because
sure.
that is huge. Like, and when I
Yeah.
first started in May, I literally did 52 shows straight. I
Wow.
did not miss a show. I know. I said I don't think I've ever been consistent with anything with that. Like,
Yeah.
and that meant
Yeah.
that was important to me because it was like, sometimes, like you said earlier, like we'll start doing something like with your journaling,
Mm.
and then we get off track. And so it teaches us sometimes to not trust ourselves
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
don't stick with it. So for me, it's like I really need to recognize, like I did this for 52 weeks, and
Yeah.
I did not, like, this was huge. And then all of these people that I've met and just have been able to have people back on my show, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
definitely going to have you back 6 months to a year, because I think it's important for um, the listeners, but also you to see your growth,
Yeah. Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
forget that growth because
Yeah.
we're in the mud, we're in the middle of
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
And so as we go, then when we stop and we're reminded, like, wait a minute, like I was like this, like you, like I have a store now, because you're gonna have a
Yeah.
store or whatever
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Whatever it is, yeah,
envision
that
that you
you
want to
truly
have.
desire. Yeah.
It's just like, wow, like I was here on this couch being
Yeah.
interviewed, and then now look at me now, like
Yeah.
that just makes it the story even more beautiful.
Yeah. And I feel like that's kind of also part of the beauty of kind of like where we're at in life now with the content and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because you're able to really, build your brand, build your, your Instagram or whatever
Yeah.
it is. And, that was kind of another thing that I had to just take a step back and say, you know what? This is me building my portfolio. Like,
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Regardless on what the likes are right now, regardless
Yep.
on what it is that, is coming out of this, this is literally me
Mhm.
building my portfolio and me
Yeah.
being able to see where I was,
No, for
back in
real.
this time and where I am today. And
Yeah.
I told myself at the beginning of this year, I just kind of wanted to see myself do a little bit more. But
Mhm.
again, because I was actually doing it. And so
Mhm.
I'm excited about where I am
Yeah,
compared to where
absolutely.
I was in January.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you got a little taste of success
Yes.
and you on to 100 shows,
Right.
Portia.
Okay.
So
Like
it's
what?
nuts,
What, are you kidding me?
Right. So shout out to you. Kudos to
Yes,
you.
thank you.
That's
Yes.
awesome. That's
So
amazing.
I have to tell you what number you are. So I'm gonna have to go back and find out where's
Yes,
everybody at.
yes,
But yeah,
yes.
it's dope. But thank you. So just is there anything that you just on your journey that you can give entrepreneurs that are listening? Just any tidbits or anything that just really helped you along your way?
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely just say, just really do your work. A part of, I am the vibe is really encouraging people to find out whatever it is that it is for them. For me, it is sense and it is music. So whatever it is that you need to do to support yourself and to help yourself just be great, tap into that more, and continue to tap into that, and then just continue to reach out to other people because there's so much beauty in numbers. And again, sometimes we think that we have to do it all by ourselves, but I think that when we're able to really tap into the people that God have He's put in our lives, we're able to really see that success and go get it. So I would definitely just say that that's really kind of my main thing. Yeah, and I mean, just treat people kindly.
Yeah,
Treat people
absolutely.
nice. You never know, who you're going to meet. You never know what they're going to need of you or what you may need of them at some point. And we're just in a need of kindness. Just like Melissa said, we'll be, just zooming past,
Yeah.
and we forget to smile, we forget to just, hey, how you doing? How was your day?
Yeah, yeah.
So be that person that does that
I
because it
love
really will
that.
take you a long way.
Absolutely. And where can they find you at?
You guys can find me on Instagram at I am the Vibe Candles. You guys can head over to my site at IamTheVibeLLC.com. I also have TikTok. You can find me on TikTok at JessTheChosenOne _. And I have a shop there too if you're wanting to shop there as well.
I
So
love
yeah, that's
it.
pretty much
Yes.
it. That's
What
me.
made you choose Just the Chosen One?
Really just kind of going through some things in life. I Just the Chosen One has been my that's been my Instagram name since way back when.
Yeah.
But really just me knowing that I am chosen.
I
Like
love
I am
that.
chosen to go through the journey that that I was called to go on. Everybody does not have the same story, and
No.
everybody ain't chosen either. I will say
No.
that everybody's not chosen.
Yeah.
But I will say for me, I just know for without a shadow of a doubt that I was chosen to um, just be a light, just to be a light. And so that's where it came from.
And you are the light. You
Thank you.
are.
Thank
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you. This has been amazing. And what a way to end my day. My traveling day
Yes, Melissa gonna go
yesterday.
home and get her some rest.
But I'm not tired. It is crazy because yesterday one of the guys that was speaking said that when he was really on his journey with really focusing on his business, because it was his passion, and he loved to do it, like he couldn't wait to wake up in the morning to do it.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh my God, have I hit that peak?
Right.
Am I at that? Like, I love what I'm doing because
Yeah.
I just, to be able to have people tell their story, because everybody's story is so different. And just, you never know who is going to watch it and who's going to see it and who's going to be touched by it. And just like you said earlier, there may be people that do the same thing, but it's not you.
Yeah.
They don't bring the vibe you bring.
Right. And don't let that stop you from doing,
and I
going
tell
out and
people
getting
all
it.
the time, even when it comes to collaboration, like, don't be afraid to collaborate, because people are going to gravitate to you because it's you and how you present yourself. You could have the same, like, four people, but however you tell your story and however you got to where you are, they may come to you versus the other. It doesn't mean their products are any less than. It's just because I relate to you. I can resonate with you. And that's what it's about. And we can only service so many people.
That's true.
Effectively. So why are we trying to hoard everybody when there's enough for everybody?
That's
So
one thing for sure.
Like, going into next year, that is going to be my theme. Like, I'm really going to work on, even when it comes to the nonprofit side, I'm really going to try to build a collective of nonprofits that come together and work together, and we're going to go get this money together. Because even though we all have similar missions and visions, the ones that I've already connected with, they're all doing it in a different way. And so why can't we come to the city or the government and say, hey, here's us.
Right.
We need the money. Because one, we can't do it by ourselves. And we're recognizing that. So please give us the money so we can do what we need to do.
Exactly.
Because if I come by myself, you're not going to feel comfortable giving me the money, because I'm not. But when I come banded with people,
exactly,
they're going to be like, wait a minute. Again, like you said, it's power in numbers. So yeah, that's my moving in. I'm just putting it out there in the universe. That's what's gonna happen. So thank y'all for watching. This has been Melissa Shaw with Our Generation, where we educate, empower, and inspire. And please check out my Facebook, Melissa Shaw, and Instagram, Our Generation 19, and also my nonprofit project, OurGeneration.org. And I want to give a shout out to P30 because they offer this wonderful space. If you have not come out here, please come and check them out off of 30th and Post. Very dope co-working space. And also, I just read Indie Biz or In Biz. you can apply for 3 co-working spaces for $20 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, the other one is Speak Easy, and then this one, and then I can't remember what the other name is, but go on
In biz. Okay,
inbiz.com
yeah.
and look that up. And yep, I
Wow,
was like,
interesting. There's so much stuff out there.
so much, so
Literally
much.
so much stuff
Yeah,
out there.
yep. So yeah, so this has been Melissa, and we are out.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Where did I see